Speaking of creative ways to express yourself, we're telling you about all the world's a stage, as a famous man once said, and I am super, super glad that my friends at the UOG Theater are putting on productions again because it has been too long. And Troy McVeigh is in the KUM News Zoom room. He is part of the team that is putting on this amazing musical theater production of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Troy, welcome to the show on Half a Day.
Half a day. Good morning.
All right. Okay, and I must say, like your island print shirt game is strong. That is a lovely shirt. Okay, so I've got two questions about this because I've often said over the years that I really, really love musicals. I'm not too crazy about unnecessarily sung dialogue, and I think like some musicals tend to get that, like they may like abuse the privilege a little bit. But I know UOG, you guys pick really, really good plays. So if you can, one, set us up for exactly how the music factors into this play, and then two, I know of two Putnam counties. There's one in New York and there's one in Florida. So which one does this play take place in?
I think there's actually like 18 Putnam counties throughout the United States. So this is just supposed to be like anywhere, right? It is not specifically in a Putnam County, Georgia or New York.
It's like Springfield for The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're getting a theater lesson and a geography lesson on today's show.
Good. Yes.
Thank you, Troy.
So the play, I mean, as the name says, this is a spelling bee, right? So there's characters who are spellers who are competing in the bee, and there's kind of adults running the spelling bee. So each character has their own character arc, right? So there's one speller who uses his foot to spell things with, and then he can't use his foot in one of the words, right? So he has to overcome this challenge. The adults, right? There's the one character who was the has-been and is, hanging on to the fact that they won the bee 20 years ago, and one person who's a vice principal who can never be the principal, and there's someone doing community service and learn that they actually like helping out the kids. So everybody gets their own moments, everybody gets their own songs. There's a lot more individual and duo songs than big group numbers, but I'd say there's about 6 or 7 kind of big group numbers. So what you'll see is, here's the spelling bee, and then we'll sing a song. So there's not a lot of talking and dialogue. There's a lot of talking so that you kind of understand what's going on. The spelling is very humorous, the word choices. So unlike a lot of plays, this grew up in an improv workshop, and then it moved to a theater company.
I love improv.
And then it moved to Broadway. So the script has places for improv, and the script has places for local references. And of course, we have taken full liberties and advantages with inserting Guam and current events wherever we can.
Oh, very cool. Okay, and I guess I should say I'm kind of a hypocrite because like I was just poking fun at the whole thing about unnecessarily sung dialogue. One of my favorite musical plays is West Side Story. Of course, Steven Spielberg just remade it last year, and now everybody's into musicals. And we had Les Miserables several years ago, and Rent was a big thing several years ago. But I mean, musicals have always been, and it's a wonderful art form to express a message or an idea or a concept, and everything. So what is kind of like the overall theme of this play?
So I mean, this play is about growing up. So I was talking with the cast, and usually there's a lead and one arc, and that's the message. But there's 9 people growing up in this play, so there's 9 different stories. So whoever we are and whichever character we kind of identify with, will recognize their struggle and will identify with them, right? So everybody kind of takes away a different message from the play.
So it's almost like the Wizard of Oz, right? Where you have like somebody's like a little bit on the shy side, somebody is a little bit, if I only had a brain, and
Yeah, we have exactly that kind of archetypes of different characters.
We've
got like the alpha male. He sings about being the alpha male.
Yeah.
We've got the shy girl. We've got the poor girl. We've got the prissy overachieving girl. So each of them sort of struggle through their challenges. What is kind of fun about this show is we call up people from the audience to kind of participate too. They don't have to sing. It helps if they can spell, because we're going to ask them to spell some words.
So you're breaking the fourth
And
wall?
oh, there are no walls. There are no walls in this.
I love that.
Yeah. But yes, your use of that terminology is correct.
Okay.
But we're using no walls.
Sorry,
And,
I'm on TV. That's what my mind just like sticks to that medium. So this is a completely
just imagine
immersive
you were
interactive
behind the
experience.
camera and then back on stage.
Yeah.
We're all over the place.
Okay, this is an immersive interactive experience then.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I gotta ask you real quick, Troy. Are you expecting any members of the cast? Because I got at least one person in the waiting room. There's a Miriam.
I did make the announcement. You know, they're all undergraduates, and we
Oh,
said
okay.
7:30. And yes.
Sure. Okay. Let me let him in. I just wanted to make sure like
This
that's
is
our
a
interview.
cast member.
Okay.
But
So
you're letting it right
so
now.
while Miriam gets set up on Zoom, we're talking about more on this with Troy. Ticket prices are $10 for general admission, $20 for families up to 6 people. So that's really good value, and you're going to get awesome entertainment. You as Troy just said, you literally are going to be part of the show. And as I understand it, I mean, obviously, Troy, there's a little. You said there's humor, there's the local references made in this, but there's one or two parts where there's like a little bit of snark, or it even says here on the release that there are a couple songs where parents may need to explain the context to their kids.
Yeah, there's a character, there's a male character that has a uniquely adolescent male problem occur while he's trying to spell a word. Yes, men know this problem.
Yeah.
We remember being 12 and not in full control of our bodies.
Yeah, it's like, okay, math teacher, please don't ask me to come up to the board and figure this problem.
That's exactly what happens.
Okay.
That
There's a
is
pretty girl in
exactly
front of
what
me, and I don't
happens.
want to go up to the blackboard. Gotcha.
And then he kind of sings a song about living through that experience. So
Very cool.
that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing. There's no graphic. It's just that, right? So that might be a talk where mom says, "Ask your dad." I mean,
Okay, so
that's-
so we're not going to go as maybe as blue or as racy as like someone who's familiar with like Avenue Q or
Oh,
something
no,
like that.
No.
But thematically, this talks about maybe like peer pressure and embarrassment and pride and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So this is a very family fun, family safe experience that you're going to want to do. I'm sure tickets are going like hotcakes, Troy. So where can people score themselves some passes to watch this?
We have been sort of waiting to hear what would happen yesterday with social distancing announcements, whether we were only having 60 seats or social distancing would be changed so that we could use the entire theater. So we're still tickets at the door. And my interpretation, I haven't seen the university's interpretation, but my interpretation of the governor's address yesterday was that we can use all 200 seats in our auditorium.
Okay.
But I need to see what the university's reading on that is. So we expect to have a lot of seats available for folks. So come at the door, and if we have challenges on opening night, then we'll find more sophisticated ways of letting people pay in advance.
Okay, and just for context, everybody, remember the governor's order as of last night, social gathering and social distancing rules are now lifted. However, you still have to wear masks for the time being indoors. You don't not necessarily have to wear them if you do not wish outdoors, but certainly when you're in the Fine Arts Auditorium, you do. I wanted to ask you, Troy, since you are a practitioner of the craft, and you're teaching young people to find that inner voice within them, and the wonderful ways that you can express themselves through art. How difficult has it been with you trying to like think about how to present plays during times when we had to mask up or stay 6 feet apart, and what challenges and maybe also what opportunities does that present for presenting?
I do want to commend, Professor Michelle Bloss and Michael Slane, who were doing video productions. and
Michelle's my
audio
classmate
plays.
at Sanchez. Go Sharks.
Yes. So they were doing radio plays and things like that we would not have considered before the pandemic. So they have done a lot of really interesting work throughout the pandemic. We're doing the first sort of live production, and it was interesting that we picked a play that had spellers sort of in an audience, so we could adopt social distancing and masking rules that were in place, right? So when spellers are up in the audience, they have to wear their masks. And that's where the audience members would come up and compete as well. But the announcers, and we see one of the announcers, one of the MCs, joining us in the room right now.
There she is. This is Miss Miriam. I
This is
presume.
Miss
Yes,
Miriam.
hello.
Hi, Miriam. Good morning. Half a day. Oh, can I
Good
get you to turn on your
morning.
camera? We'd love to bring you into the interview.
Okay.
There she
My
is.
okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
And thank you for putting on the show for us and the entire community. So maybe if you can,
Here.
yeah, if you can. So Troy was just talking about about the story behind the show, and we were just actually discussing right now about some of the challenges and opportunities of actually trying to do a play in these times. So can you describe your role as part of the cast and who you play and how you interact with the other players as well as the audience?
My role, she's the host of the spelling bee, and she's also a realtor. However, the realtor portion doesn't really take effect in the show. Um, the way my role interacts with the audience, she she's an adult who's obsessed with the spelling bee, and I think that's because she does live vicariously through the students, which is fun. Yeah. um,
That's an interesting
I,
character.
excuse me?
That's an interesting character.
Yes,
Okay.
I quite like my character,
Yeah,
and
how-
I'm very grateful Troy casted me as Rona.
May I ask how many plays have you done so far? And then the reason I want to set that up because how did you, as an actor, approach embodying this personality? Somebody who's like a host of a spelling bee, which everybody's crazy about now. Like the script spelling bee is like ESPN gives them 2 hours every year, and everybody goes nutso over it. But also as a realtor, it's kind of an interesting like dichotomy of personality. How did you go about basically portraying that kind of person?
Portraying this person, Rona, I feel like she definitely does reminisce on her days as a speller, because I don't think it'd be normal for an adult to be that obsessed with the spelling bee. I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion.
Everybody's got their thing. I mean, no
everybody
shade, no
has
hate.
their- Everybody has their thing. It's cute though. It's very cute. What else did you ask me? Like other shows I was in?
Yeah.
Other shows I was in. I done a couple of shows for Gate Theater,
Okay.
and I did Shrek, Cinderella, Mamma Mia, and the last show I did was called Unspoken for Breaking the Theater Company.
Okay.
It was an original music written by C.J. Choco and Joyce Torres.
Sure. We know CJ and Joyce very well.
Yes, it was during Mental Health Awareness Month, Suicide Prevention Month. So the musical was about suicide prevention, talked about alcohol abuse and addiction, and it was probably one of my favorite productions to be part of, like spiritually, because definitely helps you grow as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely one of my favorites. I played a nurse.
Okay. So Troy, clearly you have cast masterfully because obviously Miriam has immense range. And as the overall person and in charge of direction and everything, what do you think that she personally brings to the cast, and how do they all work together?
So, first and foremost, I don't usually like to start with talent things. We're talking about relationships.
Okay.
But what Miriam brings to this role is a beautiful voice. You want to hear her sing. You don't want to hear her stop singing. That's what she brings. She also has really embraced the mothering nature of Rona and the interaction with the spellers. There's one particular character who's kind of growing up, and she's a girl who can't really afford the entrance fee, and she needs help with her confidence. And Miriam really brings a nurturing nature to the role, which helps. Many of the folks in this cast have been involved with Breaking Wave Theater productions. Many of them have been in the World Theater Productions and the Gate Theater. So we have some of we now consider them older UOG students who were sort of like pre-pandemic. So for all of us, remembering how to be on stage and remembering that, oh yeah, we have to come an hour early so that we can get off the stage so that the audience can come in for half an hour. Like just remembering what it's really like to be in a theater with other people. So we have work to do, but we have a really fun show, and we're at the point where I don't think it can grow much more until people start coming in and laughing and responding. Because I've been standing in for the audience for the last few weeks, and the actors can't listen to me anymore, right? Like they know what I'm going to say.
Well, trust
So
me,
have to
I know a thing or
fix it
two
before I
about
say
people being
anything.
tired of my voice, so I can completely
Exactly.
empathize with you.
Yeah.
Okay, Miriam, Troy set it up, and I must ask you. I know it's barely even 8 o'clock yet, but he said you have such a lovely singing voice. You probably haven't even had your coffee yet. It's super early in the morning. Would you at least give us maybe part of a verse?
Part of the verse?
Yeah.
What verse should I do, Troy?
Whichever part you think is most appropriate.
Maybe one of Rona's moments.
Rhoda's moments. Okay.
Troy, you may have to hum the melody.
Okay. It's cute. It's it's a wonderful memory if you win the spelling bee. Once life improves from A to Z. The minute you are crowned here, I see a trophy held by me. But when I won, did I swell all the stories I could tell the braggarts? Don't do well around here.
Yes!
What a voice. Awesome.
You are getting all sorts of emojis, like in good ways, on Facebook right now. That is incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And I would say you've got really amazing vibrato to your voice. That's not easy to do.
Thank you so much.
I almost, Troy, I'm if the UOG Theater Company should ever decide to do The Sound of Music, I think you've got your lead right there. Now, hey, I'm the last person to even suggest to tell you how to do your job, but I was like,
That's so fun.
Julie Andrews is in the house, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
No, that was amazing,
What a
Miriam.
party.
Thank you. Okay, I'm in. I'm sold. Everybody wants to know. And Troy, we've got your Instagram handle right now. It's UOG Theater, everybody. And remember, we are talking about professional practitioners of the craft. So it's theater with the R-E, the European spelling, not, E-R. That's us crazy Americans. But please check them out. They're on social media. And once again, how can people get tickets and make sure that they can participate literally in this amazing play?
So tickets are available at the door. You can call one of our secretaries, Jeanette, at 735-2700. You can email me at tmcveigh@triton.uog.edu, or you can send messages to our Instagram or Facebook accounts at UOG Theater.
Thank you. Okay, and Miriam, I do want to say you've got some wonderful praise here. Rosalind Palma is saying, great job, Miriam.
Oh, thank you so much.
I know
Thank you.
Rosalind knows a thing or two about hitting some pretty crazy notes. Rosalind's immensely talented. We're big fans of hers on the show. So thank you, Roz. Thank you so much. And thank you, Troy, and thank you, Miriam, for sharing not only your talent, but your passion for telling stories in this way. We consider ourselves storytellers here, too, so we know there are some commonalities but we're big fans of the theater here on the link. And we're happy to have you on. Come back anytime, please.
Thank you so much. Storytelling is super important, and this is such a fun way to do it. So, Troy, thank you so much for casting me, and thank you, Jason, for talking to us today. Really appreciate
Absolutely. Okay, opening night is going to be amazing. Break a leg, as they say. And we wish you both the best. And we'd love to have you on anytime you guys have some production and everything like that. Even come back after opening night. We want to hear how the show goes.
We'll bring more people with lovely voices.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll have 10,000 people in the Zoom if we can fit that, and we'll have like a big ensemble. All right, thank you so much once again, you guys. So that's Miriam and Troy from the UOG Theater Company. Make sure to check them out, everybody. It's the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Super funny, super interactive, super entertaining, super awesome. I've said super more times than any man should, like in a span of 10 seconds, but it is absolutely justified. Trust me, everybody. Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and we have news coming up. We're going to tell you what is going on. Make sure to vote for Jason J once again, everybody. He makes his debut today, 10 o'clock, American Song Contest. So stay tuned. The link returns after this.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss
Okay,
Jason J representing Guam in the country's hottest song competition.